Everyone is furious at me. Am I the asshole, giving my niece a much better life than her step-siblings? You need to hear this wild, mind-blowing story. I 40F have been very lucky and joined a tech startup very early that turned out to be a unicorn, 1B valuation. It was sold several years ago, and while I'm no billionaire, it's allowed me to live a very comfortable life. I have a small close-knit family and am happy to share with my good fortune with them. I have an older brother Isaac, 50M, who has a daughter Grace, 14F, with an ex-partner. Grace lives most of the time with her mom Rebecca but spends the weekends and half of the summer with her dad. I'm especially close with Grace since I only have sons and they love their cousin and vice versa. Grace would frequently babysit and be a mother's helper, make bottles, burp the baby, help in the kitchen etc., when she was younger. Even before my startup's acquisition, my husband and I made enough that we paid for her private school, $60K a year, and would take her on trips to Disneyland and vacations with us, usually skiing in the spring and then a couple of weeks in Mexico/Hawaii in the summer. But when our lifestyle upgraded, so did hers. We set up a trust fund for her, enough for college/masters/PhD and a down payment on a house in the Bay. We bought vacation homes and took several international vacations a year on business class. Her parents have been nothing but supportive and very grateful. Now the problem is around 5 years ago Rebecca met George, who had 2 kids who he has 50-50 custody of, Caroline, F16, and Christian, M13. Both Rebecca and George work as servers and have a hard time making ends meet. They recently got married and moved in together, and Caroline and George are starting to get upset and jealous that their stepsister lives such a better life. They go to public school, go to Disney once a year if they are lucky, and maybe a trip to Vegas or to visit their grandma in Florida in the summer. This upset George and has led to fights with Rebecca. The kids are fighting too. Rebecca brought this up to me, hesitantly, but she said that she promised George she'd at least ask me to at least pay for private school to keep things even, and try to make things even between the kids with gifts and trips. Rebecca is on my side and said she knows it's not my responsibility at all, but she promised George she'd at least talk to me, and he said I'd be pretty cold/jerk, though I think he used stronger language knowing him, to treat siblings so differently. But my husband and I disagree. I barely know those kids. AITA. Submitted by /u/OKSir8922, link, comments.